Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcore Guys, bringing my run of Batman Return to Arkham Asylum, no upgrade run, hard mode, part 6, Killer Croc's Lair. It'll have a better title when it comes around to that. I think for these, like I've said before, and I think the last video, I've already kind of given up on just naming these things properly. I've kind of given up on the professional aspect of doing these. I did this video, I recorded this, I think like a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, by the way, the pods are going to start spawning. I just crouch, because I think running activates them. I've always thought that. Okay, not always, not when I first played the game. But I've always kind of, to an extent, oh, who cares? Eventually, I just started crouching. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Eventually, I started crouching around them, and it seems to work sometimes. Like, 85% of the time, because sometimes they just catch you, and I don't know. But that's how I deal with pods. We are almost done with the game. I just now finished it today. We have 8 parts. So for those that are, like, dying for something new, I don't blame you. Again, I like Arkham Asylum, but, sorry. Sometimes things just, they gotta end, Sometimes these things just gotta go. Especially like these 40-minute goddamn parts. Because we're now going into Killer Croc's Lair. We gotta go to the mansion first to essentially, basically, like, gain access or something. I don't know. Pretty much just make progress. You're not here for very long. And I got a little bit confused because I was looking for who to talk to, which I figured it would be Cash. But I didn't really see him, so I thought maybe he was gone or something. No, he was just hiding behind that damn tentacle thing. Like, outside my peripheral. I was just running through blind, trying to beat this fast, and just didn't even know he was there. So I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? Do I talk to the other guards? No, that wasn't the case. I just unfortunately didn't spot him. Oh well. Blame Return to Arkham for that, because they updated everything graphically, and I'm just making up excuses as to my own potential blindness of being stupid and completely missing everything. Alright, that's enough talking about that. Let's talk about stuff, I guess. It's not really inherently important stuff. By the way, can I just say that the line launcher is one of the coolest gadgets he has? Like, it's fun to kind of watch it go. Not so much fun to set it up, but it is kind of just fun watching him just do his thing. Even the grappling, the grapple hook. Especially in Arkham City when you get that booster added effect, which I'll probably end up doing Arkham City. I think I will at this point, because once I do Arkham City, I'm just going to do it on hard. The funny thing about Arkham games is that they're actually pretty short, so I'm able to beat them pretty quick. Also, just another slight fun fact I remember hearing is that cape animation took like years to make or something. It's some ridiculous amount of time. That's just something I heard. This part's kind of a little bit annoying because since everybody has the same damn outfit, it is a tad bit distracting to figure out like who's doing what or who's doing, who's where. But of course, if you do stay away, enemies do tend to run toward you, so that gives a pretty easy tell of a counter. I think I'm probably just blind and stupid. I don't know. But I have a hard time, like, but they're all grouped up like that. They're all wearing the same outfit. So it's kind of a little bit harder for me in the moment to just catch somebody going for an attack. And that's just my own stupidity, necessarily, and just my tiredness of going through this game with no upgrades. Which I still will say is not necessarily hard. Just, there are that bits that are like, okay, this is kind of tedious. But anyway, the other things to talk about is actually more so for my main channel. I finally finished Lollipop Chainsaw on very hard today. So Generation 1 of Hardcorean, the streaming marathon I was doing, is now finished. And I'm thinking about maybe, well, the plan was to like wait to do Gen 2 probably around like next summer. I kept talking about like next year. And now I'm starting to think like, okay, well, just how about this? Because like there's not really that many. There was 28 games I'd have to do. But a lot of those, there's only like a couple that would even give me that much trouble. Which is just Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, Probably, actually, maybe Wheeljack might. And then what else was it? Vanquish, of course. Those are like the three main games that I think I would probably end up struggling with, even just a little bit. That might be a little bit of a brick wall for a while. And yeah, I was kind of thinking, like, just, wait until after Christmas is over to decide if that's a good idea or not. Also, funny enough, technically speaking, I could have done Arkham City, like, way back in the day and then did Origins. Since Origins takes place around Christmas Eve, it would have been kind of interesting, which I'll have to push in a lot of effort for that. Because I'll have to do Uncharted 2 after this, that's the plan. And then after this is over, we're going to probably, most likely, like I said, do like DMC4 and God of War 4. Maybe even Ninja Gaiden Sigma in between. Like doing another re-guide of Sigma just so I can get that out of the way. But man, it would have been perfect if I was doing this stuff again around the time when, like, because it's almost Christmas Eve. It's currently my brother's birthday right now. But it's almost close to Christmas Eve. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Christmas stuff. Just because it's always just a nice holiday. Go eat some stuff or whatever and all that fun crap. All that other jolly fun crap. Don't worry, I'm not a Christmas hater, I promise. This room, I don't remember giving me much trouble, though. I think this was pretty okay. Also, this is the point in time when they're starting to bomb the gargoyles, which this is the cutscene that started that whole entire thing, so this one might be just a little bit long to kind of watch, so just bear with me here. But if you do... Well, one thing I like to do is I like to set off the gargoyles, and it kind of alerts other guards to me. However, I wasn't thinking about doing that until I couldn't... You'll see it come up soon. Once I come up here, because there's this guy in this building right here. He will not come out. I can't get behind him. I don't... Like, he's fully protected. But weirdly enough, the gargoyle is actually what sets him off. And then I have these three assholes over here, which this is a perfect time if you had triple battering. If you had that upgrade for triple battering, you could technically just knock all three down and then just spare yourself the trouble. But there is something you can do, actually. I started doing it later. Explosive gel. Explosive gel actually does wonders for knocking out groups of guards. So I started actually using that in my no upgrade run because I think, well, I figured out, like, okay, that's actually pretty damn useful. I also like how the glass is still broken from the last stealth section. So that could be a Return to Arkham thing because I don't remember that being in the original game, but I don't remember. It probably was. Yeah, I get tired of just waiting for these guys to just move close to me because they keep moving around to every other guy, and it's like, okay, that's enough of that stuff. Finally, this guy moves. I could have done a takedown, but of course that would have alerted everybody, which doesn't really matter because, well, as you know, in this room, the hidey-ho spot is just right there. Which reminds me, this is the 40-minute video one, too, so we're going to be here for quite a while. Oh, my God. I got to find things to talk about because I'm going to be here forever. By the way, if you're ever low on health and you need health bad, if you find, well, not in the stealth section because they won't give you more health back, but if you do run out of health and you just got out of a fight, and you're about to go back into one or something, you can grab items or like do riddles or whatever, and you can just get your health back that way. Yeah, this was about the time where I decided to finally cave in and just do the explosive gel. And I set up the gargoyle to alert the other guards, to let them know, hey, I'm over here, which they didn't even bother with it, which is bizarre. They're too busy looking for their buddies, I guess, which is really irritating. Also, I don't remember when it happens. It might be happening earlier than this, but Joker letting all the guards, or the goons know that, hey, someone's been taken out, you should go check that. I'm pretty sure that happens around the time when they kidnap Cash, I believe. Well, doesn't he get kidnapped like twice in this game anyway? Or like held hostage, I should say, technically speaking. Well, he wasn't really held hostage the first time. It was just more so just, kind of, I guess. I don't know. They're finally moving to the direction I want them to move. They're basically checking the last body. They didn't even hear the gargoyle go off, which is annoying. But hey, at least they're checking for it. But yeah, so that should be it for these two. Funny enough, I actually knock one off like the first guy that comes up here, he actually gets knocked off and gets knocked out because he falls from a great distance, I guess. I don't know what's up with that, but there you go. Get that Looney Tunes ass stealth takedown, and we're done. So that's stealth section number 1 out of like 4 or 5 of these, because this part is just hammered with them. And I kept it as one main part because, you know, you do all of Killer Croc's lair, which isn't really much of a place of its own, but I consider just calling it that just to make things easy. Because you go to like a billion different places here. It's so annoying. You got Scarecrow to deal with, then you got this to deal with, and it just seems like everything is just a big giant, like, I gotta deal with this constantly, and it's irritating. This entire part just was absolutely frustrating, just like the last part was. But luckily enough, once we go fight Poison Ivy. Once we go fight her, because we basically are pretty much over halfway through the game at this point, no doubt. Once you get done with Killer Croc, the rest is just pretty much just easy from there. Well, I should say, like, once you go deal with Ivy, you just got like 2 bosses. Just Ivy and then Joker, and at least for Ivy, it's just a run across the room. And this right here is exactly why having that little upgrade for your cryptographic is nice. Because this is what makes not doing a no upgrade run kind of annoying sometimes, is since you have less stuff that are effective, it doesn't really make the game harder, it just makes the game a little bit more tedious. And that's really about all it does. I'm skipping that entire thing because it's long and drawn out. It was fine the first time you played the game, but I so wish you could skip that stuff. I so wish you could skip it, but you can't. That guy's just eating a fucking rat. Who knows what he's actually even eating in real life, because I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be an actual guy that's going crazy. Because as far as I know from these sections, Batman is running around doing his thing, but then he ends up somewhere else because he didn't know where he went. But the good news is his mind is relatively pretty strong, so even if people were trying to attack him inside of these, you know, these Mind Palace dungeon things, which reminds me, maybe I should do a P5. I wanted to a long time ago. Like a Merciless run, because my brother says, like, oh yeah, Merciless is like super, it's like stupid easy. Because it's a gimmick type thing where if, like, technicals and criticals, I think, are just a big part of it. Like, oh, sorry, I just had dinner, that was my stomach just doing its normal thing. Like, technicals and criticals and such, I think, do more damage. Or something like that. Yeah, I gotta stop. See, you know what's really fucking annoying is, like, if I don't eat, then you'll hear it all day. You know, but if I do eat, then you'll hear it all day. It's like I can't record at any point in time unless I just probably wait, like, an hour or 2 after I eat. But even then, that won't even help. So, I have no luck. But either way, these Scarecrow sections, like, again, you know, they were fine the first time, but I've gotten so tired of them. I should have got caught there, but I didn't. I got really lucky with it. And you do 3 of them too, and it's like, god damn it. That's what really bites. So I'm glad we actually kick his ass in Arkham Knight. Speaking of Arkham Knight, that took me a long time to actually ever finish that game. I think I finished that game. Oh god, I think I finished that game like maybe a year or 2 ago, like for the first time ever. Because I would usually play it. And then I would get to like a certain point, I don't know where or when, but I would just probably changed. But I would typically get to like a certain point in the game, and then just kind of get slightly bored of it, and just be like, all right, you know, I want to go do something else. And then I finally sat down and then finished it, and I was like, okay, that was good. And then last time, I don't know what was going on with me. I think I might have been watching some stuff that might have fucked my brain. I don't know. I bought Yakuza in Hawaii because it was on sale. It was like a Black Friday thing. I bought it on sale for like half off. It was really good. And I played that for quite a bit. I didn't finish it yet, but I liked it. And I was like, you know what? I never finished Yakuza 7. So I'm going to continue my playthrough of Yakuza 7 that I've had for pretty much years. I bought like Yakuza 7 like back in the day, like I think around the time when it came out. Because I have Day 1 edition, so I probably got it within the week, maybe. I don't know. Not that I probably got it day one, which is a possibility, but who knows. Either way, point being that I still, because that game came out like, when, 2017 probably? Came out a while ago. Never did beat it. I would always like start up and play for a bit, and then all of a sudden I got to a point where, in my recent playthrough, I got much further in, and I don't think like I don't know what chapter I'm on, like maybe 8 or 9, I think, maybe, actually it might even be 10 or 11. Whatever it is, it's still pretty close to the end game, but I don't know why I was either I was watching some stuff around the time I was doing that and it just killed the mood for it. I don't know, but it all of a sudden just became kind of a bit of a drag, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not in the mood of doing this, so I just kind of stopped playing from there. Can you guys give me a few seconds here, real quick? Sorry about the beeping noises and all that stuff, but I gotta do it, man. I gotta mute and clear my throat. I don't want you guys to hear that. If it's like in stream, it's kind of hard just to, you know. Well, it's still something you could do in a stream, yeah, but it's a lot better I do it here. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate constantly having just mucus problems. It's so annoying. Even if I take Mucinex, it only helps up so much. I bitch and moan about this all the time, I know, but it's Batman Arkham Asylum. I'm not really doing anything. Do you think you got scared about the bats floating on screen there? You might have. Let's see, what else is new? Well, I finished Ratchet Tools of Destruction on my Let's Play channel. And then I also finished Deadlocked today. I've been thinking about doing like a Ratchet marathon, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know. You know? I was trying to knock down the guy with the gun there, but I missed. And then this little bastard thing that you have to break through. I forgot to edit it out because I'm an idiot, but it shot back at... God damn it. It shot back at me. So that was kind of annoying. As you can tell, like, this stuff, it's pixel perfect almost. Like, well, practically it's pixel perfect. Batman looking at me like, what the fuck you talking about? You lying. No, I'm serious. Like, this stuff is really airtight with how they do it. It's really annoying. But I do actually like the cryptographic sequencer. I think it's a fun little gadget. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's kind of a fun little thing. I like which Arkham Asylum back then did as well, but I like the little bit of, what do you call it again? The intricate detail of him actually using his thumbs to move around, just like you would do with your controller. I always thought that was kind of just like a neat little tool thing. It's so funny because, like, Last of Us spouts off about ludonarrative dissonance and all that other crap. You know, the narrative is like, wow, it's like gameplay functions like an actual movie, whoa, and it really kind of doesn't. I mean, it does, but it's still a game. I like how, in my opinion, Batman Arkham Asylum does a better job than Last of Us does in terms of that. Because when you're not busy talking about how cool your game is and how you deserve a red carpet, you know, walking down the red carpet, getting an Oscar for your grand movie game. Which, to be fair, I like Last of Us 1. I'm not shitting on Last of Us 1 particularly. I'm just shitting on Neil Druckmann, just in general, because he's a douche. But, I feel like when people like that, they talk about how great their movie game is, it makes me not appreciate it anymore. Because, no, except for Last of Us, that gets a pass, because that was at least co-written by somebody else who didn't even get credit. But, like, with Batman Arkham Asylum, you know, you actually do, you do kind of feel like Batman, though. Like, they do a pretty decent job at actually making it work out really well. Like, again, with the cryptographic sequencer thing, you know, you control it the way you control it. Remote batterings, you know, you just control those yourself. that sort of thing. And just, battering combos. Now, granted, I know the combat system of the game has been... Well, it's been praised a lot. And I think it fits just fine for Arkham Asylum. I mean, Arkham series. I think it's fine for Arkham series. But I wish it would have just stayed in the Arkham series. I wish that not every game had to just go and copy it, but it was bound to happen. I'm not the biggest fan of Freeform, though. I'm a beat 'em up guy, right? Like I prefer rather than a rhythmic play style. I'm more of like the hack and slash, just regular run of the mill beat 'em up type guy. But from what I remember hearing, this game had like the rhythm formula was already something that they were trying to do regardless. I think they wanted to make it a rhythm game, like, unironically. I remember hearing that somewhere. I don't remember where exactly. Some YouTube video, so I don't know, man. My sources are not really great, but that's from what I remember. It was some YouTube video I saw talking about the details of Batman Arkham Asylum. And I should have fast-forwarded this, but I got lazy. I'm sorry. I think I did that the first time. This stuff is so boring. Gotta pick up this goddamn plant poop. It sucks. But I don't really mind it, like I said, but only because it works pretty well in Arkham. And not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of City, because I'm more of a fan of Asylum, because I like the Metroidvania aspect of it. That's pretty much why. That doesn't mean that I hate Arkham City. I do like Arkham City to an extent. It's just more so that, like, for me personally, I just prefer Asylum. That's all. If I'm going to replay a game anytime soon, it's usually that I died there. That's why that was cut. And I have to give credit where credit's due. The quick fire mechanics of that game were impressive, especially at the time. Like, well, they were cool. Okay, they were cool. God damn it! Like the quick electric shock thingy. Batterings, of course, just being what they are. The swarm move, like the combo stuff. Because I played those challenges for a good while. I loved the challenges in Asylum. Okay, well, I loved them enough to finish them. Well, I thought they were great, even though some of them were kind of annoying and tedious. I still enjoyed the challenges of this game. And then I enjoyed the challenges of City, but I never, ever, ever fully finished them. I never got all the stars. Never platinumed Arkham City. But I've platinumed, like, Asylum, like, twice now, probably. Because, I don't know, I just like Asylum, except for, like, the Scarecrow sections and Killer Croc, but those are unfortunately just gonna be here. It was essentially a game building up Batman. Like, this was a movie game in all sense. So, or even, a comic book game. This really truly was a well done comic book game. It blended the aspects of, like, movie style, with just letting me play my game. It did it pretty well. Even though, technically speaking, Arkham City, you actually play Arkham City way more than you play Asylum when you think about it. But either way, I still don't like movie-type games, man. I really don't. I need to have game. Like, I really don't care all that much if Joel's ass hairs blow in the wind, I just want to play a game where Joel can punch a zombie in the head, and then probably sometimes, because, my God, man, I was already so into Uncharted 3, like, oh my lord, because, like, Uncharted 2 was cool, right? Like, I actually played Uncharted 2 first. I never played Uncharted 1 until, like, after, but Uncharted 2 for me was just, that was it. I was like, oh my God, this is like, what the fuck? Like, this is peak as fuck. Like, I think this is a cool ass game. And then Uncharted 3 came out, and they added that whole thing where, like, you put your hand on a wall. Like, you walk up to next to a wall, and then Drake put his hand on it, like, slightly push himself away. Back then, that was cool as shit. That was truly cool as shit. And then back in, like, not 2013, because that's when the game came out, the Last of Us trailers, I was so hyped for it. Like, watching the combat system from Uncharted, because they even upgraded that too. They had a lot of, like, context things, like you can smack somebody with a fish or smack somebody with a bottle, or throw somebody out the window. Like, these specific moments, even though in all technicality they could be considered, well, they're context, heavy stuff, so
What about Croc?
either way, I was about to say scripted, but they're not really technically scripted-ish. Like, they were planned to have it, like, that was a thing that could happen, but it's just something for the player to find out. And it was always just really, really damn cool. And then, like, Last of Us was coming out, and I was like, yo, like, you just punched a dude, and he's, like, begging for his life to not get killed. Like, that's so kind of neat. And you can slam a dude's head on a desk, and you can take the bottles and beat somebody. I don't think they showed that up, but you can take bottles and hit somebody with those too. And it seemed really neat. And going back to it, though, the talk about Last of Us 1, I still think that Last of Us 1 has a really fun gameplay combat system. I do think so. Even though I know that nowadays, everything is a sad dad sim and everything has to be Dark Souls or, in a way, Last of Us. I get it. But back then, it was still pretty cool, except for those moments where you have to, walk around and, I don't know, just do all the boring stuff. But that's just kind of part of these games, man. Because they're not here just to please people like me. These games are also made to please people that are fans of Batman or, movie-type games, too. So, you just kind of get what you get. I just wish that more movie games would actually focus on the gameplay. Like, make it really good. Make it mechanically sound. So that way, whenever I'm stuck in a story section, I remember, like, yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. Which, again, one last time, but speaking of Last of Us, I would like to try Grounded Mode next year, possibly. But we'll see how that goes. Because, again, currently right now, Uncharted 2 is next. We're going to finish up the Uncharted's only up to, like, 3. I'm probably not going to mess with 4. I have little to no interest in it. I don't really think it's a terrible, terrible game. I just get bored of it so fast. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave 4 on the table. If I do it in the future, then I do it. Arkham Knight, same thing. I think, like, Arkham Knight's just a little too long to the point where I don't want to do it. It's got too much content, so... Which is fine for a Batman game. It's just like for a guide, I just want to get through it, I just want to get all the upgrades that I can get and then just go from there. I have no interest in doing the main game. No, anything outside the main game unless it gets me a cool upgrade or something. Which again, nothing wrong with Arkham Knight, just saying that in general. I'm here for the game specifically. Well, now time to go back to the Batcave. Time to go back to the back cave. And unfortunately, once we go there, we're kind of stuck. By the way, you're better off fighting these guys. I was being kind of a simpleton. There's going to be like a group of guys right here. And I fought a few of them, and then I thought to myself, why am I fighting them? Like, there's just no point. Like, who cares? They got guns, Surprised they didn't kill me, though. I think I was too far away or something. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I switched it to easy, of course. No, but like I just said, screw them, I'm just gonna run away. I don't want to fight them. And little did I know that I would be returning, or little did I remember I will be returning, and then I had to fight them again anyway. So, god damn it! Actually, this is the back cave because this isn't even like the actual Bat Cave itself. It's just that Batman, had a Batcave installed inside of Arkham Asylum just in case. In case anything silly might happen. And yeah, it did. Do you think, like, I know that Batman's, like, super prepared for everything. Do you think he's ever prepared for, like, hemorrhoids and stuff? Like, he makes sure that he shits on that toilet for about at least 5 minutes. No more, no less. And then when he goes to wipe, he has, like, the cleanest of wipes to make sure that he doesn't have to wipe for too long. I bet you any of that. Well, most likely, knowing Batman, because of how kind of built he is a little bit, he probably does eat a lot of fiber, I'm sure. He's definitely a fiber boy, ain't he? No doubt. Well, I don't know. I don't know if fiber might be bad in that in the bodybuilding sense, because I don't really body build myself. I'm pretty just whatever. You know, I work out a bit here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. I basically work out to make sure that I don't get fat. That's kind of my whole thing. I'm trying to stay within at least a decent shape. So, but I can tell you one thing though, fucking squats are a goddamn nightmare. I fucking hate squats. I don't think there would be a day where I would ever say like, oh my god, I'm so glad I did those. Because, good lord. Well, everyone knows that squats are a pain in the ass, but literally and metaphorically. But hey, I don't want chicken legs, so I gotta do what I gotta do, right? Yeah, like I said, you come back here. I thought this was the only dude, though. I was like, hey, look at that. You know, this idiot is just here, but then these guys popped up from basically essentially nowhere. I could have gotten a lot of takedowns, but I messed up, so... Oops! Oh yeah, I should mention real quick, am I going to start Uncharted 2, like, soon? Potentially. I mean, it's not that I have nothing else to do, it's just more so, like, I think it would probably benefit if I did. I just hope that I have an Uncharted 2 save file ready to go for the collection. If I have to play through all of Uncharted 2 again, I might have to. Well, no, because I think that you can unlock brutal mode. I'm pretty sure crushing mode is already unlocked, right? I have no clue. Look how antsy I'm getting just moving to my chair all the time. I'm probably pissing you guys off, aren't I? I'm sorry, but I get really antsy, and I get my legs just... I gotta move around. I gotta move around, man. I get really restless. That's the benefit of my job, though. My full-time job. I don't actually have YouTube as a job, which I don't think I would want that anyway. Not as, like, you know, full-time thing, like, because there's no job security on this sumbitch. My real job is something where I can actually walk around at. Thank goodness. So, like, I'm able to stand up and walk as much as I can, or, you know, whatever. So it keeps me from getting too fat. Because I would never, I would never want to work a desk job. What's funny too is, I used to be seen as like the computer kid, but I'm not really much of a computer kid. I know things, you know, I know things. I used to take a class back in school that taught me how to, you know, put computers together and stuff. But, I don't know, I'm not really, you know, like, oh, I'm not really an Excel sheet type guy, I guess, like a number cruncher type guy, so that definitely would not have been a good job for me whatsoever. I don't know, sorry, my brain just froze. Oh no, this stuff sucked. Okay. This video would have been an hour and a half long if it wasn't for me editing it out. I like doing this, by the way. Funny enough, for the first time ever, they actually all three landed up here. They didn't fall into the abyss and die. That's pretty cool. Because that's what it always looks like that happens. Like, there's some abyss down there and they just completely die. But, unless Return to Arkham made it to where they just don't. I don't know. I could have probably grabbed these guys, too. Now that I think about it. Oh, well. Not going back anytime soon. Wait until I do a marathon of Gen 3. For hardcore and stuff, and then we'll have to do it. So, well, we don't have to do the game. Like, I don't have to do the marathon. That's just a choice. But if I did do Gen 3, there'd be no reason for me not to do Batman No Upgrade Run. I actually died here, too, because this part gave me a lot of trouble. Have no idea why the triangle takedown came up, or what it... Well, it comes up because you surprise somebody. Like, if you come up from behind somebody, there's like a combat takedown thing. Which I always forget that Arkham Asylum even had, because I keep thinking it's just an Arkham City sort of deal. But, luckily, no. It seems to be a thing in this game, too. And then watch as I just completely flub that up. Yeah, if you try grabbing a dude, or jumping over a dude, he will mess up your stuff. This is just kind of a me thing, but it would have been kind of neat. Because, like, the slasher dude, he's got the face mask on, you know. He's clearly just a crazed inmate, like actual crazed. compared to these guys. You know, these guys are pretty nuts, but they're not to that extent, I guess. But then again, these are kind of like Blackgate, dude. Whatever. Point being that the straitjacket bastards, if I had a choice to change one little detail, I would make it to where the straitjacket enemies have the chance to actually knife their buddies. Like, they have a chance to knock them down. Because, like, I mean, the Titans already do that anyway, right? Like, because they're big, giant dudes. I think it could have been a stun. It didn't have to be an actual takedown. It could have just been like a knock on the ground stun. Because wouldn't they just not really hang out with these guys? Like, wouldn't they just be going crazy? Same thing with the Lunatics. It would have been kind of funny to have them grab onto enemies' backs and stuff, and you can use them to your advantage. Well, just wait until somebody probably mods Arkham Asylum to have different enemy types or something. That'd be kind of crazy. Like what we do with like Sonic games and stuff, where we just make like a completely revamped Arkham Asylum game. All right, so this was a bit tricky, and this one takes just a little bit of time. I could have probably gotten that other guy there, but he turns around so quick that I just didn't even bother. I take down the first dude. He's got a collar on, so of course his buddies are going to find out. Wait for this. If you're doing what I'm doing, wait for the second guy to go up the stairs, and then immediately just fly down, and, you know, you can fudge it up a little bit. But come down here, and then whip out your Ultra Bat Claw and knock these two down. It doesn't matter which order you go in, because you have just plenty of time to actually open up the vent. So, I didn't have to do that then, but I did it just because, just in case. A quick escape. And that now currently knocks out 3 of them. And then I put some explosive gel down because, you know, nice little setup of trap. Nice little trap setup. It usually works great against 2 guys because at least then you can knock one down. Or knock one out and then knock the other one out before he gets up. Because explosive gel actually does last quite a bit for a knockdown though. Off topic, do you think Batman, his ears, do you think he ever accidentally bumps into stuff? We got really lucky. Actually, you want to talk about getting lucky? I got super lucky right there, but watch this. Not right here, but soon. Once I take out these last 2 guys. It's going to be weird. I thought that he might have seen me, so that's why I dropped down. So I come over here. I'm pretty sure this was it. Yeah, it is. So I'm waiting for this dude, you know, to come up here, do his thing, whatever. Be careful, there's a ladder to the left that they usually tend to take. So that's what kind of screwed me over. A couple of runs. This one took way too long. I think like 11 minutes of lost footage of me just losing. Because again, this entire... Oh, by the way, that fight we did earlier, that wasn't the one that took me forever. But the Titan fight that we do in this chapter, that's the one that took me forever, actually. But this part was the first of the parts that took me a while to do. And then this guy drops down here. He doesn't even spot me. And then his buddy drops down and doesn't even look at me either. And I get super damn lucky to the point where I knock him out. So I just said, you know what, screw it. We're Batman, we take those. I'm not gonna try to work. I'm not gonna get too pissy about like, oh wow, I didn't do it properly. I didn't stealth takedown. Like the game had an exploit. I exploited it. And it's like, nah, just take it. Who cares? What, you want me to do the entire room all over again with just nothing but a silent takedown from behind on every enemy? Is that what we're gonna do now? Another Batman Arkham Asylum no upgrade hard run, where this time I'm not allowed to use any gadgets whatsoever? Oh yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? The thing is with me, though, is I don't mind challenge runs, but they gotta be fun, too. You know, I gotta have some fun with it. It's gotta be something that's kind of cool to do. Although, to be fair, I don't know, I mean, I assume that, to an extent, there could be some fun to be had with that. Because at least then you'll have to plan out a lot more stuff. And then you wouldn't have the ability to... Well, you really wouldn't have the ability to do much. Yeah, Batman, no upgrade run, hard. No getting caught. Well, that's already kind of a given. If you get caught on hard, you're basically dead. No gadgets. No damage. No fun. No Batman cowl. No cape. Just to explain my methods of my madness here real quick, this guy always just comes out ready to attack. And if you attack... Okay, so I put down the explosive gel to take these guys out so I can just get some knockdowns. By the way, that shockwave is very useful for other Titan fights, especially this one. And what it essentially does is, if there's like a group of guys around them, the shockwave will affect them. The only way to get the shockwave to happen is you have to do a 3-hit combo on the Titan while he's basically kind of knocked out. So I got super unlucky while also getting slightly lucky with him taking the electric fence there. Good on me because I didn't really batarang him, so that helps out a ton. Yeah, what else can I put in that no thing type thing? No deaths. Yeah, that'd be one. No restarts. No counter. No evade. No cape. No running. Hell, what? There's another one I'm trying to think of. What would it be? No combo. There you go. Yeah. You're only allowed to do one hit at a time. And no takedowns. So pretty much, I'm going to walk through the entire game. Crouching's allowed because you can't really do stealth sections basically without it. No using other enemies to attack other enemies. So I would have to basically make sure... Well, that's not fair because the Titans are just going to do whatever they want. That is almost damn near impossible to make sure you can get them to not attack anybody. We won't count that one, but I ain't doing that. You know, somebody else can do that. We'll call it the Black Knight run because you know how there's like the Dark Knight, which would be a Dark Knight run, which would probably be like Batman, but he's like fully kitted. You know, he's ready to go. Every situation's accounted for. Every enemy is taken down, just like how Batman would do. That's the Dark Knight. But now we're doing the Black Knight run, as in Batman can't fucking see. He's blind as hell. He can't run. That's why it's called Black Knight, because bro is blind as shit. Oh yeah, and no detective vision either. Like, that's not allowed. I can't believe I forgot about one of the most basic necessities of a Batman game. Not for combat, but for stealth situations. What if I just, instead of counter, what if I just do no punches? And then make it to where counters are the only thing I'm allowed to do. That would be the most insufferable playthrough ever. Like, I thought this one was kind of a little bit annoying, but that one's kind of even worse. By the way, evading over enemies does have a hint of iframes on it. It's pretty nice. As you can see right there, like, if you evade at the right time, then you can easily just... Well, if you jump over an enemy, if you leapfrog type thing... Sorry, I've been playing too much Wipeout Chainsaw again. Then you can set your advantage. I almost ate shit, which I was already just fuming at this part. I was so pissed off doing this stuff. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, please, just let this nightmare end. Because I don't know what I'm... Well, I know what I'm doing wrong. It's because I'm not playing well. Now, the good thing is, like, when it comes to these types of enemy groups, you can easily avoid most of them just by running. And that triggers them to go for a counter. So if you're ever having trouble, like, keeping a combo going, or like I do sometimes, then you can just run around the room and do it that way. I wish counters did more damage, though. It's not fair. Like, Batman is straight up beating the living shit out of you with a counter, and you still don't go down. Like, that would be so nice if they did, but they don't. So, but hey, at least the counter system thing not being turned on is a very obvious way to tell if somebody's playing on hard or not. So, I kind of like that. That first one, I used to do hard mode runs for this game, because I think I did, like, well, I mean, I did a guide of it back then, but I think I played it first on hard. Well, no, I mean, I played the game normal, and then I eventually did hard, I think, for a trophy. Yeah, there even was a trophy for it, I think so. Where am I trying to go with this? I have no clue. I don't know. I have no idea. This also reminds me of Doom 2016, that part where we get the Gauss Cannon. A little secret area. Even though 2016 came way after. Basically, whenever I play Doom 2016, I get the Gauss Cannon, I think about this. This elevator shaft. Just with all the holes in the sides of the wall and stuff. That kind of thing. Yeah, I have no idea where I was going with that. I've already forgotten. Goddamn. Well, I'm just glad it's over. So, that's all I can really care about. Finally, this... Basically, the entire game is pretty much over at this point. Because I got nothing much left to do besides just... whatever else is left, Ivy and Joker. But anyway, that's it for this. So, as always, take care, everybody.